In the public eye, Howie Dorough is often remembered as the charming, soft-spoken member of the Backstreet Boys, the pop sensation that took the world by storm in the 90s. With his endearing smile and smooth vocals, Howie was perceived as the boy next door, bringing a quiet balance to the band's dynamic. Yet beneath this polished exterior lies a complex interplay of motivations and pressures, shaped by both personal and industry expectations. To understand Howie, we turn to the Enneagram, a powerful tool that explores the core motivations driving human behavior. While this isn't a diagnosis, it's a lens through which we can see what Howie appeared to protect, chase, hide, or avoid. For Howie, the Enneagram type that resonates most might be the peacemaker, type 9, known for their desire for harmony and fear of conflict. This aligns with Howie's often diplomatic role in the group, where he seemed to mediate and maintain balance among more outspoken personas. It's a role the public rewarded, seeing him as the glue that held the contrasting personalities together. However, the label of the peacemaker isn't all sunsets and rainbows. Within this type, there's an underlying fear of fragmentation and conflict. Howie's role may have cushioned him from public discord, but it also cast him into a light where his own wants and needs could be overshadowed by his quest to keep peace. The pressures of fame exacerbate this dynamic, especially in an industry that thrives on image and perfection. The music industry, particularly in the 90s, was an ecosystem where every member of a boy band had a defined role. There was the heartthrob, the bad boy, the mysterious one, and so forth. Howie's perceived role was the stable, thoughtful one, traits that indeed matched his public image, but at what cost? Maintaining this persona likely demanded a suppression of other facets of his personality, aspects that didn't fit the mold. The fame machine, with its relentless cycle of tours, media appearances, and album releases, rewarded the maintenance of this image, subtly punishing deviations that could disrupt the band's harmony. The family system also plays a vital role in shaping these dynamics. Coming from a close-knit family with 5 siblings, Howie was accustomed to navigating group dynamics, which perhaps made the transition into the Backstreet Boys smoother in some ways. However, the industry's demands intensified these dynamics, creating a crucible where his ability to negotiate relationships became both a gift and a burden. In terms of relationships within the group, Howie's role as a mediator often required him to balance varying personalities and egos. This might have created a sense of isolation at times, where his own voice was muted in favor of keeping the peace. Allies in the group could have seen him as a stabilizing force, yet it might also have fueled internal struggles where he felt unseen. The contrast between the public mask and private pressure is stark. The audience saw a calm, collected persona, but the role likely demanded an exhausting level of self-regulation. The peacemaker's tendency to neglect personal needs for the group's benefit could lead to an internal buildup of frustration and unaddressed desires. In the Enneagram's concept of growth and shadow, this gift of harmony can indeed become a trap. As the peacemaker strives for outward peace, the inner turmoil can intensify, leading to a suppression of true feelings and impulses. Howie may have needed to navigate these waters, finding ways to assert his identity beyond the constraints of his public role. Here lies a universal reflection. How often do we find ourselves playing roles because they are rewarded by those around us? It's a question that invites introspection into the masks we wear in daily life, the pressures we feel to conform, and the parts of ourselves we hide to fit into societal expectations. The dissonance between public persona and private self is a compelling narrative in Howie's journey. Within the framework of the Enneagram, the Type 9 peacemaker often faces the challenge of merging their own desires with those of others. This can sometimes create an unconscious pattern of merging so deeply with external expectations that their own authentic voice becomes elusive. For Howie, the pattern likely emerged not just in the group dynamics of the Backstreet Boys, but extended into personal relationships, where the tendency to prioritize collective harmony might inadvertently lead to a suppression of his own needs. Imagine the subtle tension within moments of creative collaboration, where the democratic nature of band decisions required negotiation and compromise. In these settings, Howie's voice might not always have been the loudest. not because of any lack of conviction, but due to an ingrained tendency to keep the peace. This dynamic gives rise to a compelling inner conflict, the desire for personal expression versus the need for external approval and group cohesion. It's a dance of diplomacy, where the risks of speaking out are weighed against the rewards of maintaining harmony. This tension finds a poignant parallel in the archetypal journey of the hero, who embarks on a quest of self-discovery. For Howie, the journey may not have been as outwardly dramatic as mythical tales of slaying dragons, but the internal battles are no less significant. The shadow, representing the repressed aspects of self, lurks in the background, urging acknowledgement of those neglected desires and ambitions. Integrating this shadow involves embracing the discomfort of conflict, asserting personal needs, and finding a balance between self and others. In moments away from the spotlight, perhaps in the quiet solitude backstage or during introspective intervals on tour buses, Howie might have confronted these shadows. These are the junctures where the peacemaker's path to growth diverges from its compulsion for complacency. Real growth lies in the ability to step into the discomfort of asserting one's voice, to allow personal desires to emerge without fear of disrupting the group's equilibrium. This tension between self and group mirrors a broader theme within the human experience: the quest for authenticity amidst external pressures. For Howie, the challenge was not only about finding balance within the band, but also navigating his identity in a world that often equates success with conformity. This journey is emblematic of a universal struggle, one that invites us all to consider how much of our lives are shaped by the roles we play and how much of our true selves we are willing to reveal. As Howie matured within the industry, the evolution of this inner dialogue likely took on new dimensions. The industry's cyclical nature, album releases, tours, interviews, offered limited respite for introspection, yet they also provided the backdrop for personal growth. With time, there might have been a conscious effort to carve out space for personal projects, where his voice could be heard more clearly. Such endeavors become pivotal in the narrative of self-assertion and growth. They represent not just creative outlets, but also acts of defiance against the inertia of conformity. Here, the art of balancing personal expression with group identity becomes a microcosm of the larger dance of life, one in which we all participate, consciously or unconsciously. In these artistic pursuits, Howie would have had the chance to explore themes close to his heart, allowing for an authentic expression that the group's collective output might not always accommodate. This balance between individual and collective creativity echoes the dynamic tension within the Enneagram's growth path for Type 9s. By embracing individual projects, Howie would be stepping into the hero's journey, facing the dragons of self-doubt and fear of disruption, and ultimately emerging with a fuller expression of self. Furthermore, this exploration of individuality does not negate the value of harmony. Instead, it highlights the importance of integrating both personal and collective needs, fostering an authentic synergy where Howie's unique contributions enhance the group's dynamic rather than being subsumed by it. This integration is the hallmark of true personal development and creative fulfillment. In essence, Howie's journey offers a mirror to all who find themselves caught between the need for harmony and the longing for personal authenticity. It's a narrative that resonates with anyone who's ever felt the pull of external expectations against the push of inner desires. His story encourages a deeper reflection on the roles we play, urging us to consider how we might, like him, embrace the full spectrum of our identities while navigating the complex web of relationships and societal expectations.